Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hello.
and the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, now?
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Hello, everyone. Hello, chat. Hope you had a good Friday, a good week, and you have a good weekend ahead of you. It's been a very busy week in the wonderful world of news, and of course, if you've been following along, you know that. But I think there's even more stuff that's just happened that we will talk about shortly. But there's something I have to do first. Well, first I have to ask everybody to let me know if my sound starts cutting out again. I think I've narrowed down the suspects from the last time I hosted the show to OBS, because that's the only factor in the whole thing that had changed in some way. There was an auto update to OBS just before the last time I streamed. I don't know if it changed something about how it operates. If I start cutting out again, I don't know how to fix it, but let me know, and maybe I'll just have to limit my interactions or something, because I don't want to annoy people. But aside from that, I also forgot to sing somebody happy birthday, and I feel very bad about this, and I'm not being facetious. Jenna P., longtime loyal listener to the show and supporter of the channel, asked me early Tuesday to sing to her niece, Eva. And unfortunately, because of the craziness around the impeachment stuff and getting so distracted by all that, I forgot. I don't have any other excuse. So to try to make up for that, I am now going to do my best to sing happy birthday to 8-year-old Eva. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ava. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, little Eva. I hope it was a good one. Apologies for the belatedness of it, but despite what some may say, I am only human. But with that, Satsu, how are you doing?
I am pretty good, actually. I had a day that I can't even describe.
Okay. Well, that makes it quick. All right, Monkey, how about you? Do you have more adjectives than that to describe your day?
Not really. I spent most of it sleeping. So it was a sleep day.
Well, I got up this morning and I went to work, and I did a whole bunch of work. I didn't stop working until I left the office because I had a whole bunch of stuff to do for month end and all the records I had to check and all the other stuff and this, that, and the other. So I did stuff today. And here I am.
Yay, stuff.
Also, thank you, Terry Diamantis. Impeach Scribe. From what? Okay, well, I only have one jury of my peers here. Monkey Satsu, I'm going to poll you whether or not I should be impeached. Okay, we're going to have articles of impeachment against me right now. Monkey, yay or nay?
I vote to impeach, but not to remove.
That's you don't have the power to remove, just impeach. Yay or nay?
Yay.
Satsu?
The opposite of what Monkey said.
Then I'm still here. Sorry, Terry. And by the way, Terry, how dare you, a foreign power, attempt to interfere in our politics?
Yes, one would even call it meddling.
Thank you, Snubbers. The real scientists who made real predictions on real publications aren't real scientists, according to Twitter. Ain't that right, Monkey? I don't know what he's talking about.
True.
Is that going to be some internet fucketry time?
No, it's an ongoing argument over the global warming thing
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
with somebody who just can't let it go because I told her husband to go, or her husband or online boyfriend to go fuck himself.
Global warming, let it go. There's a joke in there somewhere. Thank you, Wabajack. Happy birthday, hubby. At Shiogorath, hubby. Wait, is it Shiogorath's birthday? Is Wab?
I think so. It's also James Colley's birthday if he shows up.
Wait, Wabajack is Shiogorath's spouse? I guess would be the more safe way to say it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it Shiogorath's birthday? Is that who we have to be singing to now? Let us know. I just want to verify. But all that aside, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you have not already. And yeah, a whole slew of you haven't. At least about 100 of you have not. You're just sitting around looking at this, listening to this. I put a lot of time into tonight's theme. Getting the headshots, getting everything lined up, finding that there's two fonts there. Because in the original poster for that movie, every other letter changes from bold to normal, but it's two separate fonts you got to find to do that. I mean, we just talked about this last night, how much effort I put into this show that these two jokers don't do anything. At least you could do is...
It's not my stream. Like it, for
I know.
fuck's sake.
Jeez Louise. Anyway. See, Satsu, that's what you got to do to get people to hit the button more often than not. You gotta complain. Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Shio says 9/27/87.
9/27/87. Well, that was years ago. We don't have to sing to you now. Oh. Go ahead, Monkey.
Shio, my friend and constant joker on the channel, who said some things we can say and other ones we can't. My friend, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
You don't get Scribe's good voice.
Happy birthday to you.
There's the quality of your jokes.
Happy birthday, dear Shio.
Which ain't saying much, to be honest.
Happy birthday to you.
I love you, Shio.
Happy birthday. I hope you had a good one. I really do.
Uh-oh, raid. Did someone find some insects we had to take care of? Or is it a bunch of snoots? Do we have some snoots here, or is something else going on? I don't know. I saw a lamented guy said, raid.
And then they heard us singing and went, ooh, fuck no, we're not doing this one.
Goodbye. Raid, exit. Anyway, anything else to talk about, plug, mention, or otherwise before we get into the wonderful world of schnooze?
We will be gaming tonight over on 2 Cents Plus right after this, playing some Borderlands, doing some what is it? What are they called? Side quests and things. Having some fun.
Okay.
We've been pushing. We pushed through the story. We finished it last night, and oh my god, there were parts of the story that were like, but the story overall was very good. I love this fucking game, guys. Come watch us play.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Well, with that, we have breaking news, or at least sourced breaking news.
Okay.
And by the way, just so we know ahead of time, because I haven't read this yet, this article, and I use that term loosely, required not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 reporters.
It's not enough.
Not enough. Oh, okay. Well, here we go. Sources. Special envoy to Ukraine resigns 1 day after whistleblower report released. I don't know the significance yet myself. Kurt Volker. Sorry, what?
The leaker.
Oh, you think he's the leaker? Is that what it is?
That would be my guess.
Kurt Volker, U.S. Special Envoy to Ukraine, has resigned 1 day after the release of a whistleblower report alleging a cover-up by the White House of a call between President Donald Trump and Ukraine's president. 3 sources familiar with the matter confirmed to CNN. Well, at least you guys ended it this time and not just saying 3 sources familiar, because that's where things seem to be going in the last few days. Volker was named in the report. Yeah, not necessarily the whistleblower. He's just mentioned in the report. The State Department has not returned messages seeking comment. The state press, the school paper of Arizona State University, first reported Volker's resignation. What?
A school paper?
A university school paper. A university school paper scooped CNN. Okay, I thought it was embarrassing when Yahoo News did that, but holy cats.
Well, it is.
Wow. Volker has become a key player in the unfolding scandal surrounding the whistleblower complaint concerning Trump's July 25th phone call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, in which Trump pressured Ukraine to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden and his son, Hunter. CNN previously reported that Zelensky had joked with Volker about Rudy Giuliani, Trump's personal attorney, who is also a key player in the scandal, before the phone call was made. Volker later set up a meeting between Giuliani, who had been interested in getting Ukraine to investigate Joe and Hunter Biden, and a Zelensky advisor in an effort to get the Biden matter out of official talks. There is no evidence of wrongdoing by either Joe or Hunter Biden. Every single article that I read that even mentions this has to put that line in there.
Of course.
Even though anybody listening to what Joe Biden did and the coincidence of the prosecutor's relationship to his son, you're right, there's no evidence, I guess, of wrongdoing unless you want to call what Trump did wrong. And then... the news of Volker's resignation comes just hours after the House Foreign Affairs Committee announced they would hold a deposition for him next week. Quote, we still expect to hear everything he knows about this scandal, said a congressional aide familiar with the deposition plans. But it's unclear if he will still speak with the committee on the planned date. Giuliani denied to CNN on Thursday the characterizations of his interactions with Volker detailed in a complaint from an American intelligence community whistleblower, saying he had a, quote, nice little trail, unquote, of text messages with Volker to prove his story. Quote, I spoke to the State Department during the course of this situation. I told you at least 10 times, and I met with them, Giuliani told CNN. Yeah. So there's not much else to it. It starts reciting everything else we already know. So is this an indication that he did something improper, or that somehow he's been compromised? Maybe I'm missing why he'd resign.
Maybe he doesn't want to put up with the shit that's about to come his way. Yeah, I don't know. It that's not a good look, but again, until we hear more. This whole story is basically until we hear more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have to do the investigation because they didn't.
Yeah.
They started this whole process before there was any actual evidence. It was just hearsay. And then when the evidence did come out, it wasn't what the hearsay said, but it's still enough to investigate because every time we turn sideways, something new comes up of like, well, it looks like that they were trying to hide this. Well, someone just resigned. Well, I don't know. It's. I mean, I'm not going to start making declarations, but you know, there's a lot of smoke here. Whether or not there's any fire or if it justifies impeachment, we'll just have to wait and see.
By the way, there's a storm outside. Sorry about the thunder.
I don't hear.
I think I heard a little rumbly.
Also, Scribbles, I need to update something we talked about the other day regarding this story.
Okay.
The ABC News report that the Ukrainian advisor said everybody knew that this was happening, that this was basically a quid pro quo.
Right. The call itself was dependent on some things.
Yes, ABC News had to retract that story. For 2 reasons.
Oh, okay.
For 2 reasons.
Yes.
The advisor was not an advisor to, what's his name?
Zelensky.
To the president,
yes.
Zelensky.
Yes.
At the time that this was happening.
Oh.
And he never talked to ABC News.
Did they get pranked or something?
Serious. I'm guessing so.
Where the hell did the information come? Just you know what? I bet it was Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Or Captain, I bet it's Captain Jenks. Captain Jenks called up using his best like Eastern European accent. He's like, yes, I talked to the president on many occasions, and he told me that the things happened.
He told me.
Yeah, he told me the things. It's probably something like that. They got prank phone called and they believed it. That'd be
So
fucking
are they
hilarious.
still going to be using that then? Because I feel like even though, because that was like, this is definitive now. Like, because of this information, we can guarantee that it's that. Like, you think the left is still going to use that as a talking point?
I don't know. The thing is, I didn't see much of this in the news yesterday, and for a fuck up that big, you would think everybody would be like, hee hee.
Well,
But it was kind of quiet out there.
Here's the thing. Do they ever spend as much energy or put as much volume into their corrections/retractions as they do to the initial announcements?
Well, no.
I mean, the New York Times, they put their correction to the whole book claim about Kavanaugh into the original article as an appended thing at the end of it, not as its own like release. Yeah. Well, at least we know now that if anybody brings that up in the future, we can say that story was false, dude. That's it. I mean, those of us that pay attention and remember these things, but God knows it's tough enough to remember, will know. But that's funny. I'd really love to know the story behind that one. Who wrote that down? Who called them, or who did they call? Etc. Let's see. 63 likes, 169 people watching. Okay, I'm not going to say anything else. Let's see. What else do we have in the wonderful world of Trump? Let's see. White House restricted access to Trump's calls with Putin and Saudi Crown Prince. Okay. White House efforts to limit access to President Donald Trump's conversations with foreign leaders extended to phone calls with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and Russian leader Vladimir Putin, according to people familiar with the matter. Whoa! That was some thunder.
Did you hear that one?
Yeah.
Those calls, both with leaders who maintain controversial relationships with Trump, were among the presidential conversations that aide took remarkable steps to keep from becoming public. Okay, I want to pause for a second here. We talked about this before. From the beginning of this presidency, and you can insert anyone into the seat of the president, but if any president had to deal with as many leaks, as many people talking about things that were meant to be kept private, secret conversations, whatever else, I do not blame Trump or any White House for taking extra steps to preserve some kind of confidentiality amongst things. I don't at all. Now, whether or not those actions end up being illegal or violating congressional oversight, that part I don't know. But at the same time, if they took extra steps to try to make sure that stuff wasn't leaked to the press every 3 seconds because the White House is a goddamn sieve, I don't blame them. It's for somebody else to assess whether or not whatever steps they took in particular instances violates the rules, violates the law. That I don't know. At the same time, I got to extend them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt that they've got reason to be paranoid. So, that being said. Let's see. In the case of Trump's call with Prince Mohammed, officials who ordinarily would have been given access to a rough transcript of the conversation never saw one, according to one of the sources. Instead, a transcript was never circulated at all, which the source said was highly unusual, particularly after a high-profile conversation. I point to the paranoia. The call, which the person said contained no especially sensitive national security secrets, came as the White House was confronting the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, which U.S. intelligence assessments said came at the hand of the Saudi government. With Putin, access to the transcript of at least one of Trump's conversations was also tightly restricted, according to a former Trump administration official. A former Jogo. It's not clear if aides took the additional steps of placing the Saudi Arabia and Russia phone calls in the same highly secured electronic system that held a now infamous phone call with Ukraine's president and which helped spark a whistleblower complaint made public this week, though officials confirmed calls aside from the Ukraine conversation were placed there. Well, it wouldn't exist if it didn't have a purpose. And I'm still not 100% sure maybe I missed it. Is them putting these calls in a more secured system for reference illegal or violates rules or something? That part I'm not quite sure that I get.
Not as far as I've heard anywhere. And James, yes, I told them it was your birthday, and now that you're here, we will sing to you in just a moment when we're done with it. Whoa, fuck. With the story we're on here. As far as I know, I don't know that that's illegal, but there's the look, or maybe this is one of those he's breaking what's the word?
Tradition.
Thank you.
Precedent, whatever.
Precedent. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Because I mean, every time they say like, "Oh, Trump was trying to keep things secret," like, okay, well, first off, it's the executive branch. Second off, we're talking about international relations, however you want to categorize them under Trump. And thirdly, leaks after leaks after leaks. I don't see trying to keep things secret in this White House as immediately a red flag. You would have to give me something more than that, given the pattern of behavior of people that have been in or related to the White House since the president was elected. And again, if this was Obama, if this was Bush, if this was Clinton, and every time the guy turned around twice, the words he spoke were out in the media the next day, I think they would take measures as well to try to keep things confidential. So
I feel like it might be a part of the plan, though, because I truly don't believe that this is just like all these cases of leaks and shit are just like one-offs of all these different like-minded people who are just like all doing the same thing. Like, I feel like there's a group of people, and him having to constantly hide things or constantly, try to keep things as confidential as possible. I feel like that's part of the program. They're just like, yeah, not only are we going to constantly reveal shit, but that'll make him more secretive, which will make people more suspicious of him.
Well, we had that story several months ago where was it Rosenstein or someone who was part of some internal White House group that were trying to keep information from the president so that he didn't make decisions that they deemed reckless or something?
Right. Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Like withholding information from him.
Right, or threatening to or something. It just it's one big cluster in that White House, both from the incompetence of the actual people in charge of the administration and those in support of the administration trying to police the incompetence of the administration, but it's not their call to make because duly elected president. Anyway, birthday.
It's James Colley's birthday. See, I told you.
James Colley's birthday.
James, my friend, this one. Oh, by the way, Satsu, he did say he's sorry it's his birthday. He said that specifically to you. He said, sorry, Satsu.
He was sorry he was born? Oh, my God, James.
He said, it's my birthday. Sorry, Satsu. So take that how you will.
Mm-hmm.
But, James, my friend, for you, we have this. And a 1. And a 2.
Happy birthday to you.
Stop being born, damn it.
Happy birthday to you.
It's really annoying.
Happy birthday,
dear James.
dear Tovarish. James Colley.
Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday, James. I hope you had a great one. I really do.
I tried singing that in a bad Eastern European accent, and it was a bad Eastern European accent.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt, it was quite terrible.
I just sang in my natural voice.
Yes, I could.
That's how I always talk.
Let's see. On a non-political note, hearkening back to a story I think we covered, a year ago or a year and a half, whatever. But it has come to a kind of conclusion. Princeton graduate who killed his father after his allowance was cut gets 30 years to life. Remember the story?
I don't, but...
There. Oh, wait.
What?
Yeah, we got punished.
All right, somebody talk again, because you both talked at the same time, and then Satsu started cutting out.
I didn't hear monkey at all. I was talking by myself there.
I heard monkey. Monkey?
All I said is I don't remember the story.
Okay. Satsu just can't hear disabled.
I just said that was a white privilege.
Yeah. You not hearing the disabled? I agree. Thomas Gilbert Jr., who was convicted of killing his father after the older man cut back his weekly allowance. Remember, this guy is a graduate from Princeton who was getting a weekly allowance.
Not a student.
Nope. And obviously a grown adult. Well, at least chronologically speaking. Was sentenced Friday to 30 years to life in prison. Thomas Gilbert Sr., a founding managing partner of the hedge fund Wainscott Capital, was found dead in his apartment in January 2015 with a gunshot wound to the head. Oh, was it that long ago? Huh. Could have sworn we covered it on the show, but we didn't start doing this until like 20 minutes. Gilbert's attorneys did not dispute that he killed his father, but said he was not guilty by reason of insanity. Jurors in June dismissed the insanity defense and convicted him of second-degree murder. They also found him guilty of 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree. He was found not guilty of criminal possession of forgery devices. Shelley Gilbert, the victim's wife, gave a victim impact statement Friday where she said the family wanted Gilbert Jr., quote, to be given as light a sentence as possible, unquote. Quote, as I've said many times in court, we've been trying to get Tommy into a hospital for 15 years, Shelley Gilbert said. He's too sick to be able to judge. He needs to be in a hospital. Had he been so, my husband would still be alive. She told the court she definitely plans to appeal the sentencing. Gilbert Jr., 35, which makes him 31 at the time, thereabouts, played football at Princeton and graduated with degrees in economics. At the time of the shooting, he was 30 and unemployed, receiving up to $1,000 a week from his parents. Okay, hours before Thomas Sr. was killed, he cut his son's weekly allowance to $300.
That poor bastard.
Oh my God. Was he still living at home without paying
However
rent?
did he live?
I know. Oh my. Princeton graduate, master's in economics. Degree in economics, football player. Gosh. Yeah, I mean, you can't be a football player and get a degree in economics without being insane. Anyway, so. Yeah, no, this guy, I don't know. Well, good. 30 years. Goodbye.
See ya.
Goodbye. And the last one I've got here, which is just... I don't usually do stories about, dead kids or whatever, but this is, or I don't know, maybe. Anyway, parents charged after 11-month-old, repeat that, after 11-month-old overdoses on fentanyl in backseat of car.
Wow.
The parents of an 11-month-old boy were arrested after allegedly falling asleep while their son overdosed on fentanyl in the backseat of their car, according to Pennsylvania State Police. Kristen Bristow and Charles Salzman Jr. were charged with aggravated assault and endangering the welfare of a child. I'm assuming the kid lived, I hope. Police said in a statement released Thursday. Salzman told police the two had been cleaning out Bristow's car on Wednesday after allegedly using heroin at their Chester County home. Salzman's mother came out of the house to check on them and noticed the child unconscious and slumped over while his parents were either asleep or not reacting. Family called 911 and first responders administered 3 doses of Narcan to the child. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Thank goodness. Charles Salzman told police at the scene that he believed the child may have put a small bottle cap in his mouth, the complaint said, and that the cap had a white powdery substance consistent with heroin or fentanyl. After searching the house, police found numerous baggies containing, quote, a white powdery substance, numerous used hypodermic needles, and several glass smoking devices containing residue. A representative for the Chester County Public Defender's Office told CNN by telephone they would assign a lawyer to Salzman, but had not yet done so, and that Bristow would likely be assigned a conflict attorney since their office cannot represent 2 defendants from the same case. And now my phone is going to tell me whether I'm staying or if I'm leaving. And I'm staying. Court docket Thursday show that bail was set for Salzman and Bristow at $150,000 each. The docket showed Friday that the two had not posted bail. Yeah. Parents of the Year. Again, just go away. Put that kid in a better place. And I mean, like, with better people.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. We're at the bottom of the hour. So, it's MSS News time. Everyone, if you have news stories you would like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. Can't promise we'll get to them all. And that's only because I, and maybe others, tend to get long-winded on some stories. Let's see. Captain Bramble sent us the story about the teacher carrying the girl who couldn't walk on his back. Talked about that the other day. Oh, boy. Oh, and there's a photo of this? Really? Okay. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. This is a familiar story for those of you that lived through the 90s, although it's a different set of people. Woman is jailed 13 years for cutting off her lover's penis with garden shears during bondage sex because he shared their sex tapes with friends.
Oh, dear God.
An accountant has been jailed for 13 years after being convicted of cutting off her lover's penis with garden shears during bondage sex. Brenda Baratini, 28, was found guilty of the attempted murder of musician Sergio Fernandez, 42, following a trial in the Argentinian city of Cordoba. The convict confessed she had planned the November 25th... let me try that again. The convict confessed she had planned the November 25th, 2017 attack, which made headlines around the world, but said she had not intended to kill her victim.
She just meant to cut off his wiener.
Yeah, except for the gigantic vein running through that particular part of the body and how you can easily bleed out from it and die. She revealed in court she had hatched a plot to harm Fernandez after he shared sex tapes and X-rated pics of her with friends, claiming he treated her like a quote-unquote trophy and telling a jury of 4 men and 4 women during the trial, quote, "He turned me into a sex object. I was just a..." I don't even know what word that's supposed to be.
I'm sorry, but was she not aware of the pictures in the video?
Well, I would just like to share the link with the chat. And, I don't want to go into that, we'll look at the way she was dressed. But, I mean...
Well, look at the way she was dressed.
You sexualized yourself. You turned yourself into a sex object. Now, whether or not you should be treated that way, obviously, is a completely different subject. But let's not kid ourselves. A 28-year-old with a 42-year-old musician, you were a trophy girlfriend or something. To some extent. To some extent. Let's see. The victim said Baratini struck after getting him to put a blindfold on, recalling, quote, "After she put the blindfold on, she told me I had to guess where she was touching me. She also wanted to tie me up, but I didn't let her. She began to practice oral sex on me. Suddenly I felt something. She wanted to kill me in that second." Yeah, premeditated attempted murder. Good job. Well, so long, lady. You get 13 years to age ungracefully in prison. In an Argentinian prison, by the way. Moving on. What's that tapping?
Tapping.
Are you playing a game, somebody?
I'm hearing clicks. I don't hear any
Yes.
tapping though.
Satsu? Or not Satsu. Monkey, what are you doing?
I'm clicking.
Awfully loud.
Why are you hating on this click?
How's it loud? It's the same thing. Okay, I'm done clicking.
I hear this clumping sound along with it.
Clumping?
Clumping.
That's not me.
Oh, okay, well, both of you just need to, stop fidgeting or something.
I'm not clicking.
What, you
Then
were?
that
You
was
just
just
said
my
you were
writing.
clicking. You just said you
Oh,
were.
not clumping. I'm sorry, clumping.
Clomping. C-L-O-M-P. Clomp, like a horse.
Clumping. What the hell ever you're
I
saying?
got a pony in my studio.
You got what?
Got a
There's a
pony?
pony.
I didn't know you got a... Who gave you a pony?
Don't worry about it. You so nosy. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's...
His butt stallion.
I'm a reporter.
Well, you're not supposed to be investigating right now.
I didn't say I was an investigator. I said I was a journalist.
You said reporter.
Well,
Okay.
same difference. Anyway, okay, moving on. This one comes from TM Writer. I have no idea what this is about, but I guess we'll find out. Bella Thorne pumped she's breaking taboo with award-winning Pornhub movie. Who's
What?
Bella Thorne?
This is that YouTube bitch.
Is it?
I'm sorry, not YouTube bitch. She's a former Disney star. She wrote a book.
Yes.
Claimed that people were mean to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Former Disney Channel star Bella Thorne probably shocked quite a few of her old fans when she debuted a short film she directed, Her and Him, for Pornhub last month. Oh, I think we read something about this.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that why this person is important, I guess, is why that name keeps coming out. Like, who the hell? Thorne had been trying to get backers for the movie for some time, but came up dry until the site chose to step. Try that again. I'm reading it as it's written. Thorne had been trying to get backers for the movie for some time, but came up dry until the site chose to step and feature it as one of their Visionaries directors series of films. Now Pornhub is honoring Thorne with an award for her work. Pornhub announced recently that Bella Thorne will be honored with their Vision Award at the company's second annual Pornhub Award Show, which will take place in Los Angeles on October 11th. Hey, that's my YouTube anniversary. And something else is happening on October 11th. A lot of things are happening on October 11th. And Thorne has already let everyone know how pumped she is that Her and Him was received so well. I have not seen this thing. I remember us talking about it, but if you want to see Her and Him, it's right now. It's only available on Pornhub Premium. Oh. Well, I'm not going to pay for porn.
If I remember correctly, this is supposed to be like a what's the word? Nice porn where women aren't treated like garbage, y'all.
Oh, progressive porn?
Erotica bullshit.
Thank you, Connor Johnson. My throat has been feeling rather irritated. How can I tell if it's allergies or I have a cold coming on? Well, I would say go to an allergist and get tested to see if you're allergic to certain things. If it's... tell you what, take 2 bowls of chicken soup, and if nothing happens, it's probably allergies. Unless you're allergic to chicken, then you're going to die.
You can take an antihistamine, and if that doesn't fix it, then it's probably a cold.
Yeah, over-the-counter antihistamine. I forget what that stuff's called. Like the bargain basement kind of Allegra or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Is Allegra's the allergy stuff, right?
Benadryl, Claritin, Allegra.
Yeah, Claritin. That was the other one. Anyway, yeah, go find your store's generic antihistamine. Take one of those for a couple of days and see what happens.
I like how people just walk into this industry just pretending like they created a genre. Like, this doesn't exist. Every fucking porn that's ever came out is women being beat to death and then fucked. Like, it's like, no. Like, there's entire fucking websites completely dedicated to, like, fucking very clean and, you know, by the books fucking
or porn where the woman is the one in the dominant role.
Yeah.
I mean, femdom stuff is a genre of porn that's been around forever. Dominatrixes, or the Mrs. Robinson scenario of the aw shucks guy being seduced by the cougar kind of woman. Yeah, whatever. Thank you, Angry Illinoisian. Oh, I love this chat and panel. You guys can always get me out of a funk when my brain goes astray. Thank you all. Well, I'm glad we are here to help. But that's not a guarantee.
Becca's yelling at Connor to consult actual doctors. Yes, you can do that too. But if you don't want to spend the money on doctors, the easy way to do it is to try an antihistamine.
Yeah, self-experimentation, guys. By the way, this is not medical advice. We're not medical professionals, and we are held harmless from anyone having chicken soup and dying because they're allergic to chicken broth. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, Monkey.
The other thing, real quick, about this porn, if I remember correctly, it also has a part of it where they make sure to ask consent all along the way.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Nothing sexier than, can I take off your bra? Can I take it off slowly?
Can I put it back in?
Can I put it? Should I put it on the dresser or on the floor?
You know, it'd be really funny if he was just like testing the waters of severity, where he's just like, "Yeah, can I touch your shoulder? Okay, cool. Can I touch your hip? Can I beat you with a wet dog?" It's like, what? Oh!
With a wet dog.
A wet dog? What?
What the fuck is that?
I mean,
No,
if
like,
you
okay.
if you said, "Can I slap you around with a trout?" I'd be calling back to my IRC days. But a wet dog?
I just thought of the most ridiculous thing.
No, you have to be more granular than that. It's like, can I touch your shoulder? Can I touch it firmly? Can I touch it with one finger? 2, 3, 4. Is 4 okay? And I just keep going ad infinitum.
How deep can I go?
Yeah. And she pulls out a ruler.
She's like, half shaft. That's it.
Yeah, just measure him.
I'm Asian. No.
Oh. All right. This one comes from.
Can I call my mom? That's so
Can I call my mom? Can I get a lifeline? Turn every sexual encounter into some kind of like guessing game show.
Hayden asks if this is on the Christian Science Monitor. No, we actually read about this, I believe, in like the New York Times or the Post or something like this. It was a big deal when she started making this. It was right after she made her book telling about how people had raped her like her whole life.
All right, this one comes from Frosted Glass. Yeah, monkey laughing about rape, guys. Just U.S. cinemas
I
ban
didn't make the
masks.
timing. Go ahead, read your story.
Speaking of timing,
Shh, just let it happen, Scribe.
could you shut the fuck up for a minute?
I'm trying to. You won't let me. You just asked me a
I
question.
won't let you be. Anyway,
Didn't you just ask me a question?
God
What am I supposed to
damn it.
do? Not
Look at
answer?
check your mail, Mom.
God, Jesus fucking Christ.
It would be rude not to answer.
I give up. Fuck it. Fuck it.
Am I the only one who thinks it's rude not to answer a question?
Just ignore him, so we can freak out about that.
I have my fork. I will use it unless you guys shush. I'm holding myself hostage right now.
He gonna fork you up, Monkey.
You can fork it. Fork it hard.
I will fork myself to death.
I did not give you permission to fork yourself.
Dude, I cannot
You
wait
didn't ask.
to see an article.
Not even that great of an article. Sorry, Frosted Glass. U.S. cinemas ban masks and costumes at Joker screenings
Really?
I mean,
for safety.
yeah.
Major cinema chains in the U.S. have announced that they will enforce bans of masks, costumes, and toy weapons at screenings of Joker, the new film starring Joaquin Phoenix as Batman's nemesis, as concerns about the potential for violence connected to the film's release on October 4th circulate. You know what this reminds me of? Do you remember, or have you heard of William Castle, the old filmmaker from the 50s?
I haven't.
No.
Okay, William Castle, he was famous for doing gimmick movies like The Tingler, and he put like a buzz in the chair in the theater.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Or Smell-O-Vision, or all types of things like that. He had gimmicks. Well, one of the gimmicks, and I forget which one it was. It might have been Dr. or something, or it might have been the Tingler. Outside some theaters, he would have a person posing as a nurse and a doctor, somebody else, and have people sign releases about how this movie may, in fact, cause your death, and they don't want the theater to be liable ahead of time. If I didn't know that this is all people being way too overcautious, I'd almost say that this is a viral marketing campaign. Get people
I can see that.
curious enough to watch this movie. It's like, oh, it's so dangerous. We can't let anybody wear a costume. But the problem is, because of the Aurora shooting, right? Is the guy who at the Batman theater shooting in Aurora, Colorado, where the guy ostensibly dressed himself up to look kind of like a Joker type figure. That's what we're doing.
Well, what makes this annoying is it's just like a
a whole bunch of crazy fucking white supremacist incels were just minding their butt fucking business, probably.
But
And
fucking
like-
business.
And this movie came out, and they're just like, "Who gives a shit? I don't care." And then the leftist media is just like, "Hey, incels and white supremacist racists, this movie's for you. It's for you guys. They made this for you. It's to empower you, make you stronger and more powerful." And they're like, "Really? Is it? Oh shit! I should go do something about this." It's just like the only people who are pumping this up and handing it off, and this ties into yesterday's fucketry. Literally handing something off to a group of people and just allowing them to have it is the left.
Yeah, it's a surrender. It's not that something was taken; it's that you're surrendering it.
Yeah, this movie came out, and there was that meme where it was like absolutely no one, and then the left. This movie's for incels. It's like, come on, dude.
Anyway, move on. This one comes from Soraya. I just thought of a horrible, horrible joke.
Well, it can't be worse than monkeys, though. Listen,
Hey.
That's true. So, if by chance Soraya has a sister, would that person be
Don't do it.
psoriasis?
God damn it.
I'm so sorry, but I'm laughing inside.
I would tell you to dismiss yourself, but we need you.
Well, you already tried. You already failed to impeach me, so I'm here forever. Thank you, Jordan250. We've gone from video games causing violence to movies causing violence. Progress. Oh no, movies causing violence has been around forever too.
Yeah, that's an old thing.
That's very old. Any media that depicts violence or could be construed to be violent, like heavy metal music, all of it, video games, Postal, all these things cause horrible, horrible. That was worse than I thought. Okay, I'm not going to repeat what Colonel Fire said, because that's just the fuck, dude. Anyway. Moving on. This comes from Soraya. Why do we care about the whistleblower's gender? I don't. I'm assuming some people do. And this
Is that a thing?
Forbes.com is asking the question, so I don't know. The latest news is the whistleblower is a CIA officer, but it is still unknown as to whether the whistleblower is male or female. Yesterday, when the acting director of national intelligence, Joseph McGuire, appeared before the House Intelligence Committee, there seemed to be confusion about which pronouns should be used to address the unknown whistleblower, given his or her unknown gender. Forbes.com is where this very important, totally relevant to anything article discussion is taking place.
What a fucking dumbass! Like this is actually beyond stupid.
At least 3.5 pages of text on this, when it actually does not matter in the least. Moving on. Thank you, Zach Osborne. I sent you something on Twitter. Have fun. Oh, that doesn't sound on. I'll have to look at it after the MSS navigate away.
Excuse me.
But I will look. Talked about. Okay, this one comes from Gorkon. Sounds like villain in Last Starfighter or something. I know it was something. Florida teacher reassigned after question refers to President Trump as an idiot. I'll read the totality of the question and the options you had for clarification. Question 2. 45th President, 2017, Republican, real estate businessman, idiot. And your options were Jimmy Carter, Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, Donald Trump. Exactly a very difficult test question.
Well, I mean, you don't get to do that. Sorry, your job is to teach, not manipulate. So,
Bryce says, fine, Scribe Light, it's better than calling me a dyke because
Is your last name lesbian?
no. All right, let's move on. A controversial question on a middle school test led to a Florida school district reassigning one of its teachers. A Florida student showed their dad a quiz that called President Donald Trump an idiot. He was furious and tweeted a photo of that quiz. Quote, "I'd like to teach my kids to be free thinkers," said the parent. And that. A stupid question on a test isn't stopping you.
That's true.
The Duncan Middle School parent, who asked not to be identified over fear of retaliation towards his kid, said he's furious over the question. You told us that person writing this? I don't believe an opinion belongs in the classroom, whether it's religion, ethnic background. Okay.
I mean, I get the point he's making, because it's just like, that's an option that you have to pick. Like, you have to pick one of those, regardless if you believe it or not. It's like, you chose that. You agree with me. Like, that's what the teacher's essentially saying there. It's stroking their own ego and trying to their own biases. And no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The teacher should not have inserted commentary into a test of knowledge or facts like that, especially something that's so childish. But I think this parent might be overreacting a bit, sort of.
It's just the implication. Like, I mean, if you think about the grander scale of what that could mean, and if we allow that type of behavior to go on, I think it's justified.
Thank you, Zach Osborne. Send it to Monkey and Satsu, too. Have fun, boys. Uh-oh. And Soraya says, my last name is Thorndike. Oh, really? Oh, I can see that. I can see kids.
I can see adults doing that.
That hadn't come to my mind. I'd thought of something dumber. Let's see. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. What? Is this real? I have to ask that question. Okay, this is coming from stokesentinel.co.uk. Stoke is a town. All right, here's the headline, and it starts with a quote. Quote, "I can't help having a big penis," unquote. Stoke-on-Trent shopper accused of stealing clothes drops pants to prove suspicious bulge was actually his manhood. That's great.
That's some shit I would do.
That's great. Window fitter Steve Whitehurst has told how he pulled down his jeans and boxers to prove he hadn't been shoplifting when staff spotted a suspicious bulge in his crotch. The 47-year-old felt he had no choice but to drop his trousers after being falsely accused of stealing clothes on a trip to Scott's, which I assume is a clothing store, in a shopping center. He claims he was stopped from leaving the branch for around 30 minutes, despite going to great lengths to prove his innocence by heading into a cubicle to show a male member of staff his 10-inch penis.
Holy shit.
The drama unfolded during an outing to the city center with his partner, Mandy Shenton, aged 46, and 18-month-old grandson last Sunday. Steve selected several t-shirts and a new bag before paying £390 at the till. But as he went to leave, the manager confronted him and accused him of smuggling items in his pants.
So he showed his male member.
Yes.
I'm surprised he still shopped and bought the shit and left. Like,
now, he showed a male member of staff his male member and staff. Steve from Sinead Green, town or something, said, quote, "I walked up to the door to leave, but they stood in front of me. I thought it was a joke at first. I was completely gobsmacked. They kept pointing at my crotch, and I replied, 'Excuse me, that's my penis.' I said to them, 'What do I have to do to prove I'm innocent?' They wouldn't let it go, so I felt I had no choice but to pull my trousers down. I told them, 'Look, I've got nothing to hide,' but they still kept accusing me. I volunteered to go to the changing room with a male member of staff to prove it was all me, as I couldn't think of what else to do. I've put on a bit of weight lately, so my jeans were very tight and there was a bulge, but I can't help the way I'm made. I'm very well endowed. But when I came out, they still tried to block me. I was kept prisoner there. A huge crowd of more than 100 people had built up outside. It was humiliating. A lot of people think it's funny, but I don't think it's a laughing matter. I can't believe I got my manhood out and they still didn't believe me. Steve insisted he remained calm until the manager produced some security tags and continued to refuse to allow him to leave despite him proving there was nothing hidden inside his trousers. At that point, he demanded a refund and has now vowed to never return to the shop again. Let's see if the store had anything. Okay, let's see. Scott's is owned by JD Sports. A JD Sports spokesman said, quote, the customer in question was exhibiting suspicious behavior in store, and when the store manager confronted the customer, he became abusive. At no point did any colleague ask the customer to remove any clothing. Well, if you wouldn't let him go because you thought he was smuggling stuff, his only option was to prove he wasn't. At that point, I don't... Okay. Anyway. That's nuts. Let's see. We'll do one more here. If I really... which... Okay, we'll do the Crowded Angel, because it's funnier than the other one. Let's see. Man gets fined 1,000 pounds after his naked date locks herself outside his hotel room.
What?
It seemed like the perfect ending to their boozy second date when Chris Farrell and Chloe Harvey booked into a hotel for 80 pounds. But it cost Chris an extra 1,000 pounds after Chloe got up to use the loo and locked herself out of the room stark naked. There's no bathroom in the hotel. Picked the wrong door or something. Panicking hairdresser Chloe, 29, banged on the door but could not rouse Chris, who had had a, quote, few beers. Desperation, she says she hit a fire alarm, and the whole hotel woke up. The mother... Yeah, the mother of two added, it was mortifying. I mistook the door for the toilet, and found myself in the hallway. I didn't know what to do, so I pushed the alarm. I was completely naked. Chris, 26, thought that was that. Wait, thought that was that. Okay. But when they checked out, he was charged $1,000 for improper use of the alarm. I see. Well, okay. The dad of one got angry with staff at the East London Hotel. Well, you paid for the room. You were responsible.
You brought that silly bitch with you.
Yeah. So he got angry with the staff at the East London Hotel in Bethnal Green and slapped the computer.
Oh.
Okay, well, there you go.
Exciting than I thought it was going to be. You like slapped, and I'm like, who did he slap? You're like, the computer.
Let's see. So that qualified as harassment, alarm, or distress to staff.
Really?
That prompted the police to turn up and hit him with a $90 fine, bringing the cost of the night to around $1,300. Chris said, quote, I've appealed the hotel fine, but they said there's nothing they can do about it. I was happy to pay a fine, but bearing in mind the circumstances, I thought it was a bit extreme. Police tried to reason with the hotel manager, saying the charge was way too much. Chloe could not be more sorry, but I said I'd pay the fine. Hotel cost $80, and I did about $150 on the night out, so it was an expensive date. Yeah, but you got laid. And you have a story you can tell for the rest of your life. I think it was...
Where was he when she was beating on the door?
Sleeping and passed out because he was...
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. And I'm looking at the picture of her, I'm like,
Is she worth that much?
She's not bad. I mean, she's got that sort of MILF kind of thing for a British lady, I guess. I'll put the link in the chat. You don't see anything. You don't see anything explicit. You just see her and.
Yeah, I'm not looking for porn.
Yeah, yeah, you can do that.
I just want. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, she's got that mom look. Anyway,
She got
guys.
that. I need somebody to pay for my kids. Look, yeah,
Well, he's got one kid of his own, so he can be a dad.
yeah. So there you go.
Well, guys, thank you so much for all the stories. Appreciate them. Sorry I didn't get to everything, but you guys sent us interesting things. Well, what did Zach Osborne? Rats War. Click this, or else you guys will start copyright. Okay, I really don't want to see that. Ugh. Okay, moving on. It's YouTube time. I'll go first. I'll be brief. I didn't do anything. I was working all day. When I got home, I didn't want to do anything else but not work on stuff. So, Satsu, what are you up to?
I edited one of the videos that I recorded yesterday, and I'll be uploading that at some point. What else did I do? I know I did something else. No, I think that was it.
Am I cutting out again?
Really tonight, but I didn't record it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Cutting out again.
No.
Guys, if you can hear me, I don't know what to do or how to fix it. I will. I don't know. Now it's probably, if you guys can hear Monkey and Satsu fine, it's got to be OBS and how OBS is projecting my audio. I don't know.
Do you have any filters on for your audio, Scribe?
Yes, I've had filters on for a month, and the cutting out only started last time.
Well, you said OBS updated. For me, whenever OBS updates, it always fucks up my filters, so I have to like redo them.
Well, I'm not going to attempt to redo them while I'm live because I don't know.
I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get some useful information there.
It's just okay. I'm going to be quiet for a while, guys. So continue with YouTube time.
That's it for me. That's all I did.
I did a Monkey in the Morning, I think. Did I do one of those? Yeah, I did it last night. I don't know what else I did. I didn't do anything else. I didn't even watch videos today, I don't think. No, it's not true. I watched Crowder video. I watched a couple Crowder videos. Yeah, that's all I did for YouTube.
Great.
Sorry, man, I didn't have much.
Yeah, fine. Okay, do I have any? I will skip fucketry. I don't have much to talk about. Well, wait, there was one. Yeah, okay. So at the risk of being all choppy, I will get this out of the way. Try to. There was a tweet from Star Wars Direct today telling us a little preview of circumstances that have taken place between the movies of Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, telling us that Rose Tycho has, quote, risen through the ranks since the events of Star Wars The Last Jedi and will be a military commander in The Rise of Skywalker.
How?
And I said, with such stunning stratagem as risking life, limb, and the fate of a covert mission for the Resistance to instead rescue wild animals, making a murder-suicide run against one of her own people during a battle, Rose Tycho is definitely upper management material. Hashtag Rise of Skywalker.
This is a woman who almost jeopardized everything. She could have. I mean, I realized she was saving the love of her life, but when the black dude, see, I don't even remember their names. That's Finn. Thank you. He's going to save the Resistance, and granted, we ended up with the Luke bullshit, but he's going to give his life to save the Resistance, and she runs into him to stop him.
Yeah.
What part of that makes sense?
Yeah, a lot of people have said failing upwards, and they're comparing her to Jar Jar going from like an idiot to a senator.
It's asinine.
Anyway, I will halt for a bit and let you guys bucketry. Satsu, what do you got?
Let's see. Did I get into any meaningful fucketry today? Because when I hopped on Twitter, I think the only thing I posted today was, "How are you guys doing?" And everybody very reasonably and out of Twitter fashion gave me normal answers on how their days were going. And I was like, oh, well, there you go. As far as fucketry is concerned, I was on here earlier. What did I see? Oh, I think Sinatra was fucking with Sophane earlier. Because on the ADL, they have the triangular clan symbol or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it says it's a general hate symbol. That's what it's listed as. And he put a picture of the Triforce from Zelda next to it. Like, what do you think, Sophane? Of course, Sophane said it was ridiculous. He said, click this link and you can order your Zelda patch. And he said, the clan has used this symbol for decades. It's supposed to be three Ks facing each other. However, much like the Indian swastika, we can use context to determine when it's a simple symbol or when it's a symbol of hate. But, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to harp on this like too much, but I just don't understand the point of them making a universal hand sign a hate symbol, especially if it's not going to be recognized as such. You know what I mean? Like the only time I get where that would be reasonable is if it's just like almost exclusively this group uses this thing. It is well known to be used by this group for specifically this thing. And 90% of the time, if you ever see it, it's going to be by this group. So it's a hate symbol. But taking something that 99.9% of the people who you ever see using it won't be using it for hate. It's just like, it's a hate symbol, but almost every single human being you ever encounter using it won't be using it that way. It's like, then why? Why is it listed as a fucking hate symbol? It just doesn't make fucking sense to me.
Because they need to justify their nonsense.
It's so stupid, man. And I could get the heads up. Like, FYI, there are some horrible people using this symbol in this way. And it's like, okay, cool. You know, whatever. But no, they're like, no, this symbol has been commandeered and given to the fucking alt-right. It belongs to them now. So if you see fucking thousands upon thousands of people using it, always be wary that they might be a racist. But they're probably not. So fucking dumb. It's a complete waste of time. But once again, in a generation of people who make all these gestures that do nothing, it is a gesture of complete nothingness for nobody. Like, nobody is going to be affected by this in a meaningful way. It's just like, we did this thing. Look how virtuous we are. Fucking hate people so much. But anyway,
Virtue is what's important there.
Yes, I guess.
Well, signaling is what's important to these people anyway. It's, I mean, the whole virtue signal. In my own fucketry, I'll get into that a little more.
And you think that's why they hold
Yeah.
terms like dog whistling and stuff to such a high, like that is like a really big thing, the dog whistling, because they, in every effort, every single day, are doing these little fucking gestures that they're trying to signal to people all the fucking time, 100% of the time. They're just like, everybody else is doing this too, because we do it all the time. Like, everything we do is a nod or gesture to the people we want to fucking...
Yeah, it is. It is. When you go out there, you know, virtue signaling, it's there's a reason we call it that. They're actually signaling to people, look how virtuous I am.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. And that's what I said, projection and hypocrisy are the two things that these people fucking excel at, man. Because they just assume, like, we're pieces of shit who use this tactic all the time, so everybody else has to be. Like, there's no way anybody could not do this. Like, this is how everybody is, because we're like that. It's annoying. But anyway, I'll try to make this the last time I rant about this. But it's just so fucking baffling to me that this is even a thing that needs to be talked about. Can't wrap my head around it, but that is the extent of my fucketry.
All right, Monkey.
Somebody just thanked me for my misogyny this morning on my show. Well, actually, they thanked me for being funny with my misogyny, because once again, I was on my election platform of common sense white women reform. Which, by the way, I do want to point out, I blame women for what's wrong with society, but it's men's fault for not telling women to stop it. You goddamn pussies out there who think, hey, if I just go along with the stupid shit women say, I'll get to touch that vagina I've heard so much about. Stop it. All right, let's see. First up, Nancy Pelosi. Nancy, I don't even know what to say to you, ma'am. So Nancy Pelosi was on TV, and she says that that the president used taxpayer money to extort another leader. Then she goes on to say that she thinks that the cover-up, that the Russians are involved with the cover-up of the Zelensky thing.
Are we back to Russians now? Okay.
Yeah. The Russians are involved with the Ukrainian cover-up.
All right.
Now, for those of you who know your geopolitical landscape, I'm going to let that sink in for a minute. The Russians are involved in the Ukrainian cover-up.
Yeah, because
Nancy.
Russia has so much they want to help Ukraine with.
Nancy, let it go. Let it go. Go watch some Frozen and pay attention to that song. I saw that Razor Fist had retweeted it and no one watched the video. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me, Nancy.
Yeah, that was... Okay, does that mean that they're really, really grasping at straws because they know they don't really have a base for any of this now?
You know what I think it honestly is? It's a dog whistle.
Yeah.
Oh.
And hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Ah.
It's for all of those people out there who really don't know what's going on, but they hate Trump and they need a reason to care about this. Like, oh, it's Russia involvement. All right, I'm on board. Fuck the Russians. It's a weird dog whistle is what I think it is. That or Nancy's actually got Alzheimer's and doesn't remember where she's at. Which at her age is possible too. Worse than that, though, as bad as Nancy's dumbassery was, yesterday Beto O'Rourke said something so goddamn stupid, it is actually offensive to my intelligence. This is what he said.
This must be pretty bad because the tolerance for what Beto has to say that's dumb has got to be pretty high for you at this point.
Oh, just wait. He said, yesterday, people brought assault weapons to our rally at Kent State, where 4 students were shot dead in 1970. I told them nobody should show up with AK-47s or AR-15s to seek to intimidate us in our own democracy. We need to buy back every single one of them. Now, for those of you who didn't catch the offensive part there, the students who were killed in 1970 were killed by the government.
Yeah.
They were killed by the National Guard.
Yep. They weren't using AR-15s or AK-47s, by the way. Not that that really matters.
Where 4 students were shot dead in 19... This motherfucker actually put that on Twitter.
And nobody was just like, hey, bro.
Well, actually, because I had seen it and it had popped up on my timeline and somebody had tagged me in it for Monkey in the Morning last night. But this, I decided to retweet it when I saw this tweet. God give me the confidence of a rich man running for president who has the audacity to use that time that the government killed 4 unarmed protesters as a platform for arguing the government needs to confiscate your guns.
Like, just...
Yep. Well said, Amy Swearer. I don't know who you are, but well said indeed.
That is
This-
unbelievable.
This asshole's up there arguing that the government needs to take our guns because the government killed people.
Yikes.
I told you it was offensive to my intelligence. When I read that, you guys can go watch it because I read it live on the show. I was like, did he really just fucking say that? Are you out of your fucking mind? Look, man, make whatever argument you want about gun control, but arguing that the reason we need to get rid of guns is so that we can stop the government from killing us, that's not a good argument in any fashion at all. But yeah, he got mad because some people brought some guns to his rally yesterday. Like, nothing you can do about it, Beto, you dick. Yeah. Anyhow,
Somebody should ask him if he thinks the military would have complied if he tried to buy back their weapons.
Evil One says, I'm welcome. He's the one that sent it. Yeah, I appreciate you sending it in. Because look, I know Beto's dumb. I didn't know he was that dumb. Because that is a level of stupid. I know I talk about how dumb the people in our government are and stuff, you know. This is Hank Johnson levels of dumb here.
Is Guam gonna flip over?
Oh man, so 4 students shot dead here by the government, you asswipe. Anyway, Rich Klein asked this question yesterday. He said, on impeachment, Democrats face, he actually wrote a story. By the way, this is from ABC News, the same people who told us about the Zelensky thing and had to retract it because it was entirely bullshit. Oh. Which, by the way, if the Zelensky advisor had never talked to them, that means they literally made the whole thing up. Just throwing that out there. But anyway, yes, on impeachment, Democrats face challenges of focus and scope. Go big or go narrow, fast or slow. And I said, answering it, they need to go fast. And then I saw today that the full articles may be written up by the end of October.
Oh, they wanted to try to get this done before the end of the year.
They have to go fast just because, you know, they have an election. And we're not talking about the general yet. We're talking about they have the primary. And keeping Trump's name in the press, especially if impeachment is as unpopular as it's been every other time it's been tried, that's not a good way to run your primary.
Nope.
Just Trump. Dumbasses. Somebody was arguing with Stephen Miller about how Greta is actually a really smart person, and we can see it all the time because you see memeable signs and stuff out there. There's an article, I forget where it's from. I could probably backtrack and find it. Hang on, where's it at? It is from the New York Times, and it says this: perhaps most important is their instinct. Okay, real quick, they're talking about how liberals are winning the arguments. Okay, perhaps most important is their instinctive understanding of attention and how to wield it as both a weapon and a tool. They understand how to attract attention. Their protests feature memeable signs to capture interest across social media. Their events, from global strikes to sit-ins in the House Speaker's hallway, are tailored to garner media coverage. They also know how to spot enemies looking to divert attention and to ignore or dismiss them. I disagree with that. But this person's like, wait, that they're really good at the memeable signs. And Steven's like, yeah, we all know that when an adult gives a child a sign, it's what that child really believes.
Mm-hmm. My 4-year-old came into the room the other day and asked me about nuclear weapons.
Yeah. I like this idea. It's like they've been able to capture the attention of everyone. Yeah. After you've kicked people off who would, stand up to this nonsense. That's when they do it. When you shut down people like Milo Yiannopoulos, who was able to command it without having to have children hold up signs for him. Now you guys have an even playing field when you kicked everyone off the playing field. It's amazing how even that playing field is now. I thought I had one more. Where'd it go?
I bet it's
That may be it,
somewhere.
Scribbles.
Uh-oh.
That may be it.
All right. Well, while I was silenced, I went into my settings, and the only thing I could think of that might have been making me cut out or get quiet at times was the noise gate filter.
Mm-hmm.
So I just removed it. So I don't know if that's going to change anything. If I'm still cutting out, guys, I have no idea. I'll try to fiddle with the settings after the show.
I actually had to stop using the noise gate filter for that very reason.
Yeah, okay. So you guys let me know if it's still cutting out. Maybe I fixed it, maybe I didn't. If I didn't, I will start over with my filters. Because I did need the filters, because everybody was talking about how quiet I was all the time earlier when I first started using OBS. And so I had to find a way to, artificially raise my gain up, essentially, because OBS does not do the normalizing that StreamYards or Hangouts does directly, so...
Yeah, usually gain and noise cancellation are the two ones that work best for me. Like, those are the only ones I usually need.
All right, well, now, Satsu's done his fucketry.
Yes.
Monkey's done his fucketry.
Yes.
I did mine. No one that I invited on or sent a link to has shown up, so there's nobody else that has fucketry or something. I haven't forgotten anything that otherwise would have already happened, correct?
No, we're on
Free time.
format.
Free time. Okay. So, how about a Mad Lib?
Sure.
Okay.
What's that?
What's that? I don't know. An insane left-wing person.
I see what you did there.
Okay. Let me find the link to the thing. And, okay. Which one of these do I want to do that we haven't done before? Okay, let's try. Oh, this has got a lot of words. Okay, let's try this. All right, so chat, this is what I need from you. I will give you 3 options. I need your suggestions in the chat, in individual chat messages. It might help with if you put a little thing ahead of it telling me what it is. But either way, what I need is a female teacher's last name. It's very specific. So just I don't know. I don't understand what a female teacher's last name is going to be unless you're talking about a real person, I guess. But just like a last name. But if you want to come up with something clever as a female teacher's last name with that requirement, by all means. Your city or town. I'm not asking you to dox yourselves, so just suggest a city. City names that are funny are always great. That's 2. And your state. I don't know if that's quite doxing material, but if there is a state you like, or if there's a state that's not necessarily one in America, but counts as a state, whatever works. So a female teacher's last name, your city or town, and your state. And if anybody puts that fucking Welsh or whatever weird long 72 letters town name that one guy, that weatherman said that one time, I'm not going to do it. I'll give you credit for copying it into the chat if you can fit that many letters, but I'm not going to do it. Have you seen that video before?
I know what you're talking about, but I haven't seen the video.
Yeah, it's this weatherman, and he's telling, the weather in this place, and it's in Britain or Scotland or something, and there's this one town name that is like this, like, I swear to God, it's got to be 300 letters long, and he pronounces it without missing a beat. And it's this, like, Welsh or Gaelic town name that's ridiculous. So, anyway, I've oversold that. Satsu, I need a teacher. Very ambiguous, but a teacher. Who would you consider to be a teacher?
Like a teacher's name?
It just says teacher. So I assume a teacher's name, but, interpret that how you will.
I don't know. Mr. Cox.
I will spell it in the inappropriate way.
It wasn't though, but that was still hilarious.
Monkey, I need a number. Just any number, apparently.
422.
422. Satsu, I need a verb ending with ing.
How about snuffing?
Okay.
Damn.
Monkey, I need a last name. Just any last name. Very, very ambiguous options this time around.
Nut Gobbler.
Okay.
Hey,
Satsu.
that's the last name from the teacher in, or the prostitute in, or at least that's her whole name.
Okay. Satsu, I need your first name.
You could use my first name. It's Tyrone.
Yes, I knew that was not a secret at this point. Monkey, I need a plural noun.
Oh God, plural noun. How about ball suckers?
Okay, so nut gobbler, ball suckers. I see a pattern forming here. Satsu, I need an animal singular.
An animal singular?
Yes.
Bull.
Bull. Okay. Monkey, I need a plural noun again.
Oh man. Plural, right?
Yes.
Fluffers.
Satsu, I also need a plural noun.
Plural noun. How about we'll go to a classic. We'll say dildos.
This is going to be such a one. Monkey, I need a bird singular. So just a kind of bird.
Eagle. America, bitches.
Yeah. Satsu, I need an adjective.
Refreshed.
Okay. Okay. Monkey, I need a singular noun.
Pussy.
All right. Satsu, I need a female friend. Insert someone we know into this just for fun.
Oh. How about we'll do Stargazer.
Oh, okay. Stargazer, nuts. Monkey, we need a male friend.
Scribe.
Okay. And then lastly, Satsu, I need a color.
Tickle me pink.
Tickle. Oh my god. All right. Did you ever see that documentary called Tickled?
No.
It is bizarre. I'll find a link or something. Watch the first 10 minutes. If it doesn't grab your curiosity, I will be amazed. Anyway, all right, chat. So I need a female teacher's last name, however that works. Let's see. Who's going to give me? I'm scrolling up. Dark Alal says Miss Frizzle. There you go.
It's Frizzle.
There you go, Frizzle. Your city or town. Let's see. Your state. Where is... Okay. City or town. Hell, New Jersey, says Talik. All right.
Is that real? Because I know there's a Hell, Michigan.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Hell, New Jersey. And lastly, I can just put Hell. And then your state. The state of Mexico, says check your logic. I like that.
I like
Mexico. The one. All right. You guys ready?
Yes.
This one is called Summer Reading Report.
Oh boy.
Summer vacation is almost over. That means I have to start catching up on my summer reading list. This year, Mr. Cox gave us a really long list. We have to read 422 books. I know I should have started sooner, but I've been having too much fun swimming and water snuffing at Nut Gobbler Lake. Water
That don't
snuffing
sound right.
at Nut Gobbler Lake. So far, my favorite book is Tyrone Potter and the Chamber of Ball Suckers.
Oh, what?
Okay, sorry, my phone's beeping at me again. Tell me it's not an emergency. Okay. Tyrone Potter goes to goes to a school called Bullwarts. Instead of learning math and social studies, the students learn things like how to turn fluffers into dildos.
That's funny.
And instead of getting letters through the mail, the students get their mail by Eagle Post. Tyrone Potter's worst enemy is a refreshed wizard named Lord Voldepussy. Tyrone gets help from Stargazer Nuts Granger and Scribe Weasley, who has bright tickle-me-pink hair. The three friends count on Professor Dumbledore and Professor Frizzle, who teaches history. In Tyrone Potter and the Chamber of Ballsuckers, Tyrone has to fight an evil plot by Lord Voldepussy, but if you want to know what happens, you should read the book. Then you'll want to read the sequel, Tyrone Potter and the Prisoner of Hell, Mexico.
That is hilarious.
The students learn things like how to turn fluffers into dildos.
These things happen.
These things do happen, I guess. So, I think I might have to post that one to Twitter, if I remember to do so. It seems like every time I think to do that, I always forget. So
I'll be changing my last name to Potters.
Tyrone Potter. Let's see. What time is it? Oh, we're past time. Okay, well, guys, thank you so much for bearing with us through a Mad Lib. Some people don't like them. Some people love them. I don't know. We don't do them as often now as we used to because these guys keep talking too long about their fucketry or whatever. I don't know. They take up too much time. Or I forget that someone didn't do their fucketry and then we have to go back and do it again. Anyway, guys. It's question
He's making
time.
it all our fault.
That's right. That's how it works these days. That's how you deal with problems that are yours. You make other people to blame, and then you don't have to worry about being wrong. But in that vein, guys, if you have questions, comments, concerns, conspiracy theories, complaints, if you, what was I going to say? I was going to say something smart and clever and call back to something earlier in the show, but I've forgotten what it is because I'm old. Anyway, put them in the chat now. If you have questions for us, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements for us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. If you don't know what I'm talking about, ask your friendly neighborhood chat partner. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to edify you. RJ Bansma, Scribe, what is your Livermony house every bone?
What?
I tried to read that. That is what came out of RJ Bansma. So I don't know what you meant. Are you drunk? I'm moving on. Harvos Marvos, you guys talk about the intelligence community changing whistleblower reports from direct knowledge to hearsay in the last month. Also, Holman strikes again. That was a question?
I think it was did you that should have started with did you guys?
Oh, did you guys? Yeah, changing whistleblower reports from direct knowledge to hearsay. Well, in this instance, the whistleblower report was hearsay because they said that their information comes from other sources. So if someone says that they themselves heard it, that would be direct knowledge. If the intelligence community is saying that whistleblower reports are inherently hearsay, well, without corroboration, that could be the case. So by definition, I suppose a whistleblower report in the absence of corroboration is hearsay until proven otherwise, even if they're talking about secondhand sources. So I don't think they'd be wrong by definition in saying that.
I think what he's talking about is maybe there's been a recent change where it used to have to be firsthand knowledge.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, maybe I misunderstood the question then. So yeah, I don't think we talked about that specific thing, Harvos. Let's put it that way. Sean Uli, Scribe Light, did you that picture of the live version of Jessica Rabbit? DM'd you. I've seen several cosplays of Jessica Rabbit that are, pleasant to look at. I haven't seen whatever you DM'd me. Oh, does it just now? No, it's some. Oh, is that? No, it's something else. No, I didn't see that, and I didn't get a DM from you. So did you just tag me in a tweet? Maybe. Anyway. Frosted Glass. You hear about Spider-Man being back in the MCU after all? Yeah, I did, and it's kind of It's kind of surprising because Marvel's getting a better cut of the pie as a result of this. So Sony either there was some other trade-off where Sony's getting something in return for this, or Sony suddenly realized they don't have the chops to actually succeed with this. I don't know exactly what the deal was behind the scenes. That might come out in the future. It might not. But Midnight's Edge is the people I'd be looking for to tell me, because those guys have the connections and they do a lot of research, and they've had some really good videos on that so far. No One Nowhere. Audio has been good since you did what you did, Scribe Light. Okay, well, maybe the noise gate got fritzed in the update. So for the time being, until something else happens, I'll just leave the noise gate alone. Jared Hart Norris says, Satsu, Tyrone Potter, and the Chamber of Ballsuckers. I know the perfect website to upload that video. Yeah. It's documentary.com, isn't it? RJ Bansma, Scribe Light. Lords, what are your Livermorny houses in the Harry Potter universe?
What house would we be in?
I guess that's what's being asked, because first off, I've never read a Harry Potter novel. I've seen 3 of the movies, and I don't know what a Livermorny is. But of course, if you're talking about like which class, or I'd probably be Slytherin, just because they're morbid and weird, and I kind of fit into that category. Monkey,
Oh,
you're a Hufflepuff, aren't you?
I don't know. See, the thing is, you learn in the later books that you actually get to pick your own house.
I thought the hat did that.
Kind of, and that's what you're led to believe, but that's not exactly true.
Oh. So which one would you be?
Probably Slytherin.
Oh.
I won't be associated with those goody fucktards.
Satsu.
Gryffindor.
Point for Gryffindor. Pyrus Creed, do they need 66 or 67 votes to convict in the Senate? I think it's 67. It's 2/3, right?
That's 2/3. I think they need 67 to actually do it.
Yeah. Motto Winter. Oh, Lords, when is Monk going to start selling his homemade cheeses? I didn't know you made cheese, Monkey.
Don't make cheese.
Oh, no. So, Mata, the stuff between Monkey's toes is not for sale. Just so you know. Sean Uli, can you shill my GoFundMe again? I could. I don't have the link in front of me. I will try to find it. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Let's see. Ebony Williams, breakfast for dinner, yay or nay?
Oh, sure.
Hell yeah. Well,
That's good.
Depends on the breakfast, I suppose. But, yeah. I don't mind it too much. Excuse me. Where is... Oh, Sean, you didn't... Oh, is that it there? Okay, I just had to find the link. Sorry. Okay, so I'm putting the link to Sean Uli's GoFundMe in the chat. Guys, he's not looking for much, but he needs money to move out of a nursing home and back to home. The funds to get everything squared away. So give a look at that if you have a chance. Who did I miss here? I missed somebody with the something and the something. Dark Alal, with ADL's stupidity in mind, are they implying that all scuba divers are white supremacists because the OK gesture is an important gesture in scuba diving? Well, they say that context matters. except for situations that are as specific as that, how you determine context when someone is using the gesture is anybody's guess, because unless you're a mind reader, you don't necessarily know. So,
I think the guidelines is, do you disagree with this person?
right.
White supremacist.
RJ Bandsman, Scribe Light, how does Monk like Monkey on the Mic as a title for a show?
No.
I mean, Monkey in the Morning kind of just works. I mean, if Monkey is anywhere, he's on a microphone. That's kind of just by default. So you have to have a show name that separates things. Pyrus Creed, which of the 4 classical elements, air, water, earth, and fire, would you like to control and manipulate? Well, you forgot one, Pyrus. It's called heart. You've made Mati cry. And if I could control people's hearts, I'd make them implode in their chests. Oh, wait, no, that was the other me talking. That's my Slytherin me talking. I'd make everybody love each other. But me first.
Air. Because you can push all that other shit around.
Air is probably the most versatile.
I would do water, because if I could control water, conceivably I could also freeze it, and water getting into the cracks of things can break anything apart if it's frozen. So.
Well, if we're going by Avatar rules, I do believe that they have the power to freeze.
Yeah.
Just like firebenders have the power to use lightning.
Yeah.
Also. So I guess it depends.
Yeah. So if I can control water and I could have it, I can control its 3 different states, as you're gaseous, solid, or liquid. I think that gives me a whole range of different abilities, more so than say fire or air, or even earth. Moto Winter. Oh, Logs, is there a reason why Scribe is so square? Well, because I'm the one who wears glasses and I'm the nerd. I'm the only one among us that wears glasses, or needs to. So obviously
I'm supposed to. I just don't.
Yeah. See, yeah, Monkey's a rebel without eyesight.
So. Blind rebel.
Blind rebel. Ooh, maybe that's
which makes me dangerous.
Maybe that's like Blind Press's son who acts out the blind rebel. Except he's not blind.
I don't think our kids are blind yet.
No. Yeah, because it's not genetic. I don't know. I bet there's somebody out there with the name Blind Rebel. I bet it's true. Grizilla, Scribe Light, speaking of links, may I shill mine? Yes, and you're a moderator, so I think you can post yours without my assistance. So, by all means. Let's see. RJ Bandsman, oh, Logs, will you give the ADL the middle finger? No, because that's somehow supremacist of something. That's probably...
I'm sure that's something supremacist.
It's probably big penis supremacist.
It's non-asshole supremacist.
Let's see. James Colley, dear lords, why? That's a very open-ended question.
Why not?
Why? Oh, I know. Try Bud Dry.
Why ask why?
Yes, Monkey got it. Adabisi.
Which, by the way,
oh, yeah.
I need to stop there for a second. That's a stupid-ass slogan. Why ask why?
Yes.
So you don't end up with a finger up your butt. How about that?
There you go. I'm sure that's why. That's what Budweiser was thinking when they made up that question.
Well, I know it's not what they were thinking, but I tend to go to the logical conclusion. Like, you go to the doctor and he goes, "We're going to cut off your left foot." Why? Is an excellent question in that moment.
Adabisi, who whenever I hear that name, I always think of the guy with the little hat in Oz. Scribe, why do you skip all my questions?
Oh, you were wrong.
I broke that dry spell. Let's see. Ebony Williams, Lords, if you gain total domination over the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico, I think I did that in Risk one time, while not changing the Constitution, who would control which region? Oh, between the 3 of us? Oh. Well, let's see. Monkey would be in Puerto Rico because he needs the heat.
Fair enough. And the hurricanes.
Yeah, well, there's that too. I would take the U.S. and give Canada Satsu.
Cool. I'm done.
Because Satsu might be able to make that place cooler than it is.
Maybe.
If he was in control of Canada, I'm sure Satsu's reforms would make everything much better.
I'd have less scandals than Trudeau.
And his blackface is real.
Oh, okay. RJ Bansma, hey lords, how do you like your ladies?
Naked.
Yeah, that works too. I don't know. Self-sufficient and within walking distance. Because I don't drive. Frosted Glass. What? Sorry?
I said self-sufficient and nearby.
Yeah, self-sufficient and nearby. There you go. Frosted Glass. What was it you said, Monkey, about naming the thumbnail picture for a YouTube video to get views? What?
You need to have a name for your thumbnail video or for your thumbnail. So like if you did a thumbnail or a video, let's say on the Trump impeachment, your actual thumbnail, as you make the thumbnail itself, before you ever upload it, name it Trump impeachment.
Really? The
Really?
name of the thumbnail affects the algorithm.
Yeah, it's something that gets that the algorithm looks for.
I did not know that. Because I
You can also get
I usually combine like some I just say thumb or thumb two or something and just load it. Okay.
Yeah, you can also get in trouble for what you name it. So don't name it something stupid like anything. Just racist. I don't want to say anything racist. Don't name it something like that because you can lose your channel over that shit.
Pyrus Creed, would it interest you to know that Chank's nephew, Hassan Piker, will be streaming with a porn star / game streamer named Mia Malkova? I know well, I don't know Mia Malkova, but I know of her work. It doesn't interest me because, I'm sure she seems like a nice lady. I've seen I've seen her work. I've heard her on a podcast or two in the past. But Hassan Piker doesn't interest me at all. So, whatever.
He's kind of a little douchebag, actually.
Yeah, and if you're not actually seeing Mia Malkova do her stuff, I don't even know. I didn't even know she was a game streamer, but I'm sure she's a very popular one just because she's Mia Malkova. Massive Dynamics, over easy. Oh, that's how I like my eggs and my women.
Over easy?
Over easy, really, dude? Take a trip to the free clinic every week, will you? Okay. Mata Winter. Oh, Lords, why are you fluffy puppies all of a sudden? Excuse me?
I have no idea what you're talking about there.
What are you
Yeah,
smoking?
you took is really potent.
Yeah. What are you smoking, Mata? Ebony Williams, Lord of Punishment. Are your glasses round or square? Well, they're actually they're not horn-rimmed glasses like in the old 50s movies, but they're that kind of shape. They're black and kind of squared off, so they're squarish. But of course, they're not like square because that's not how glasses work, especially not my prescription. So yeah, they're squarer than they are round, which also contributes to that whole thing about me being a square. See, there you go.
Did you see on Twitter? Petite Nicoco got new glasses, and she's like, "Look, they make my eyes look big."
Oh God!
She got them little Asian eyes, yeah. Or maybe she said they make them look smaller. I can't remember which way it goes. Either way.
RJ Bansma. Oh Lords, will you buy a ton of Scribe Light beer? Okay, first off, are you talking about an actual beer that's called Scribe Light beer? Because if that's Scribe Light beer, that'd be funny. But I wouldn't produce a beer because I don't like beer. Let's see. What's this? Is that actually a beer? Oh, there is a beer called The Scribe, apparently. The style is American Wild Ale. It's no longer brewed. Oh, it's been retired. Oh, so it's out of print, so to speak. Beeradvocate.com has an entry for The Scribe. I do like the font and the logo for it.
I didn't think ale was like an American thing, really.
I have no idea. I'm not a beer aficionado. James Colley, Scribe Lights. So hipster horn rimmed? No, not hipster horn rimmed. They're just. If I find a picture, I will tweet it out or something. But no, they're not. They're not that bad. They're just slightly squared. Black plastic or whatever glasses.
He wears lesbian glasses.
Sure, I do. Sinatra says, I wear glasses. Well, then I guess you're just totally smirt. Although you only really need the one lens now, don't you? Oh, wait, no, that's me. I had the stroke in the eye, not Sinatra. Never mind. All these strokes, my brain's losing it. Moving on. Frosty asks, what show or person do you think is the next one cancel culture will go after? Oh, God, I don't know. Next person or...
Show-wise, I'm not really up on any shows. In person, depends on the day and what gets said accidentally.
Yeah.
That could be anyone.
Yeah, I mean, a guy who raises money for children's hospitals to, some video game developer that you've never heard of before, to the next celebrity that says something that they disagree with. Who knows?
Did you guys see the guy from the Des Moines Register? Doesn't work for them anymore.
Oh, you mean Aaron Calvin lost his job?
Yeah, I saw that.
He did.
I mean,
that's great. You know what?
That's karma.
That's Schadenfreude. That is legitimate Schadenfreude. Now the question is, how much time and energy is the Des Moines Register putting into researching every one of its employees' social media to try to head it off at the pass before somebody else finds another one?
That's what they said. They said we didn't live up to our own standards when we hired him.
Every employee at the Des Moines Register is now being searched, guys. Anybody with a byline at that paper is having their social media searched. And everyone at that paper is scrubbing their social media as we speak.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, the other thing I wanted to point up was a story. I don't know why I didn't bring this up. It was a story that I saw, I think it was yesterday. This person is very, very upset that the West Wing didn't prepare us for modern politics. The TV show, The West Wing, didn't prepare us for modern politics.
So a fictional universe of politics written by a guy who is so clearly idealistically liberal that your brain could explode. Should have prepared us for modern politics.
Not just that, it may have ushered in those modern politics as well.
Okay, first off, I got through like the first 2 seasons of The West Wing before I got bored with it.
Never watched.
I've seen clips. My YouTube likes to suggest oddball things to me sometimes without me actually asking for them. And I've seen several clips of like best of The West Wing and like here's the best political takedowns of The West Wing. There's some really good writing, and I picked up a lot on some of the characters and things. And I can see how it's a very popular show, and it does portray a very idealistic version of how U.S. politics should work. In a perfect world, this is how we'd operate. And here's the conundrums of governing and the pressures and this, that, and the other thing. And sometimes it treats it with too much starry eyes, and sometimes it treats it with very pragmatic, sort of like, well, this is just the way it is. You could learn a lot of little notes of how to look at things, or how different motives on the parts of people can affect politics by watching some of these shows, because it gives you a somewhat simplified version of how those things operate. But
Sure.
At the same time, it's fiction, and there's nothing modern about politics. It's the same story, just different window dressing every cycle, guys. Really, the same pressures, the same kinds of conflicts and everything that were happening in Nixon's era or Truman's era are happening now. They just have different names. The zeitgeist might have something different on the table instead of what was going on back then, but it's the same stuff. You know, if you choose to get deep into the weeds on what political things and gamesmanship and all that, we do that on here on the show all the time, trying to figure like, why did Nancy Pelosi do this now? Of all the things, why'd she pick this subject? That kind of stuff. That's as modern politics as 200 years ago. Same thing.
You think one day somebody will write an article, Lords of the Night didn't prepare me for modern politics and may have caused it.
I would be proud to think that we had that much of an effect or lack of effect on people or something, you know. Or actually, like someday somebody listening to this show ends up in office at some point and says, you know, I really got thinking about politics and how I could serve my country or serve the people of my state or something, because I listened to these 3 idiots on YouTube and they talked about all this stuff, and I just thought, Jesus, these guys are dumb. I can do it better than them.
They would have to. They would have, even if they loved us, they would have to be like, I hated everything they said and thought that this country needed fixed.
Right.
Because if they said, I liked what they said, they would never get elected.
All right. Peter Silak Hades 313. Breaking Bad didn't prepare me for the life of a meth cook properly.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's been the biggest complaint about that show.
Send a bill to AMC. I'm sure they will reimburse you.
Actually, you know, this is absolutely true. It's been found that because of that show, meth became a much cleaner product.
Because they wanted to be known for their quality then? Wow.
Basically, yeah.
I want to be like Walter White.
Have you seen the show?
Oh, yeah, I've seen the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, so Walter, you know, he's all about it's got to be clean. I don't care.
It's his pride. His pride is the perfection of his product, yes.
So I don't know if it was because the consumer became more aware, but I forget which drug agency, whether it was the DEA, the FBI, one of those. Yeah, they came out like, we're finding much cleaner meth now.
There was a what was it? There was a documentary in Frontline about the meth epidemic several years ago, and there was a guy. I think it was a police officer in Portland, Oregon. He accidentally happened upon 2 different statistics, and that was the rate of meth arrests and the quality of the methamphetamine that they were seizing over the course of time. And these little like peaks and valleys line drawing graph kind of thing, they were almost exactly the same. As the quality of the meth went up, so did the number of arrests and everything else, and it was following the same trend. And so the guy said, you know, if we can cut off the parts of the drugs that make this good at the source, we can cut down on meth crime. Pretty much. I mean, it seems like these things were like completely correlated together. And it was the same logic that went behind Quaaludes back in the day. You don't hear about Quaaludes anymore because the chemicals and the methodology to create Quaaludes was cut off at the source. It was made illegal or whatever. But then the guy who did the Quaaludes tried to get the meth thing taken care of. But unfortunately, a lot of the chemicals that go into meth go into a whole bunch of other pharmaceuticals that are very popular and very profitable. Thus, we still have a meth problem to the degree that we
Well, also, meth's always been illegal.
Yes.
Where Quaaludes were actually an
actual
an invention of pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah. Let's see. RJ Bandswick. Scribe Light. Who would you want to box in a match? Well, Helena. And if you get that joke, you watch way too many movies. But guys, by the time I finish this, we'll be at the top of the hour, and thus the end of the show. So everybody, I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight, as you always do. Like I say, you guys are the best audience anyone could ask for, and certainly the best audience in all of YouTube, in my opinion, which is completely biased because I have unconscious bias as well as conscious bias because I'm a horrible person. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though our audience is the most well-behaved in relation to this show we could ask for. And everyone who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it. I already have a bag of goldfish, so I've spent your generosity on some goldfish, and once I finish
Okay.
that bag, I'll get another, and we'll just keep on going until I'm just completely turned into salt.
Cheesy salt, though.
Cheesy salt. It's true. I love cheesy salt. Remember, guys. You guys are streaming tonight, yes?
Yes, we'll be
Okay.
streaming in a few minutes.
Borderlands 3 tonight with Monkey and Satsu over on 2 cents plus. I believe you guys think you're going to finish it tonight.
No, we finished last night. What we'll be
you
doing
did.
tonight is, so many people have been talking about this, and we're like, okay, we want to know the story. So we push through the story real fast, and we just bypass all the side missions. But this game did something really cool, Scribe.
Mm-hmm.
The side missions, after you finish the game, level up to where you are. So they'll all be our level. So yeah, we're going to be doing stuff like that.
All right, then. Let's see. And I need to talk about that. Oh, and remember, guys, tomorrow night, per usual, will be on Monkey's channel at the usual time.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, yeah. So everyone, thank you for joining us. Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone, your lives make us sad. We will see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
I have my copy of Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, the romance and sexual sorcery of sadomasochism, who at this point should really be sponsoring this show, but what do I know? And picking a random word. Interesting, given what we were just talking about. Today's secret word is antidote.
Oh.
I know, right?